Hello everyone, in another video from Europa Universalis 5. This is part 3 of our playthrough as Ottomans, tutorial playthrough to be very specific. But before we start, like always, let's begin with the quote. And the quote is: "The battle is fought and decided by the quartermasters before the shooting begins." Erwin Rommel, well-known gentleman. Okay, so I'm closing that. Stopwatch, boom, running. And let's continue reading, like in the last episode about estates. Unfortunately, every time I come back here, I have to click through all those tabs and do all that little things until we come back to where we finished. This is because we cannot save game in such state. This is also probably because not everything is already shown on the screen, and probably because of some, well, programming problems. I guess that they didn't allow to save the game in such state. This is fine. Hopefully we'll finish that walkthrough very soon and we will actually start playing, following some advices. Alright, so the map. The world of Europa Universalis 5 is made of different countries that own locations on the map, from where they extract the resources and manpower they need to stay ahead of their neighbors. If you zoom out, you will see country names appear on the map. Hovering over them will show you the country tooltip, and clicking on them will open the foreign country panel where you can learn about and interact with the country. Zoom out to see countries. Boom, 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 boom. Fair enough. You can see the names. Open a country panel by left clicking on foreign country. Which one would like to see? Let's take a look at Byzantine Empire. And here we have it. Oh my god. What did they do to you? Wow. Okay. We can click next. Countries are nothing without locations. Locations are the heart of the economy and the politics of any country in Europa Universalis 5. They produce goods and they generate tax base, but they are also home to population of different social classes, religions and cultures. Locations can have three different types. Location rank. City, which is that type of octagon. Town, which is a square. And rural settlement, which is, I guess this is probably most of the map. Look at that. This is beautifully marked. So here we have towns. Here we have rural settlement. Most of the map. Okay, why? Okay, now it marks also England. And then we have city. And there is, well, more than a dozen for sure, but not too many, by the way. Oh, okay, so it doesn't highlight all of them. It has to load them if we go to a different location on the map. Look at that. Yeah, we can see cities over there in Middle East, but if we move to Europe, we can't see any of them. We have to do it once again. Fair enough. Zoom in to see locations. Here we are. These are locations. I have to remember that city, town, and rural settlement. So in our case, Bursa is a city, and also Izmit. Fair enough. Then we have town in Kütahya. Okay, next. The most important location for any country is the capital. Your capital is Bursa. You will recognize it on the map by the golden star inside its location rank icon. This, and this. You can double click on your flag in the top bar to move the camera to your capital. You can double click on your flag. Oh yeah, that's correct. Let's move somewhere else. Boom, here we are. You can also find any location by pressing F to open the finder and typing the name. Boom. Warsaw. Oh, this is the Polish name. Hello. Here we are. Warszawa. Yeah, that's a very Polish name. By the way, let me take a quick look at where I supposedly may live. This is somewhere there. So here we have Warsaw. Yeah, I live somewhere there, I guess. Neidenburg. This translates to Polish Nidzica? Oh, Osterod. Or Osterode. Which is Ostruda in Polish. Fair enough. Allenstein, which is Olsztyn. Yeah, okay. It doesn't matter. Let's go back to to our beautiful Ottoman country. Click on your capital Bursa. I would love to click on it. Okay, next. Before looking at Bursa, let us stop for a moment to have a look at control groups. They live at the bottom of your screen and serve as quick ways to access a variety of things in the game world. You can assign locations, countries, markets, or armies and more to a specific number key. Let us try it by assigning your capital Bursa. With the Bursa panel opened, press Ctrl+1 to assign it to a new control group. I will do that. Boom. Oh, it's there. Look at that. That's awesome. That's very helpful. This is commonly used in any RTS games like, I don't know, Company of Heroes, StarCraft, Dawn of War, whatever, to name a few. Next. Good job. Now pressing the assigned number will pan the camera to Bursa and open its panel. To empty a control group, you can either right click it or press Ctrl and the corresponding number key. Okay, I will try it. Boom, it doesn't exist anymore. Let us have a look at the location panel now. Any location is populated by different social classes. As we just saw, pops will increase the estate power of the respective estate. The amount of pops of each social class depends mainly on the buildings present in the location. Buildings can be built by you or your estates, and they need to employ a specific social class in order to function. When a building is built, peasants will promote to the necessary social class to fill them. Some buildings produce goods which, sold in the market, generate the tax base of the location. Some buildings produce goods which, sold in the market, generate the tax base of the location. Fair enough. Peasants will be promoted to the necessary social class to fill them. Okay. And how does it work, that promotion system? Pops will promote from peasants when there are possible positions for them in their location. Pops need to have at least a tolerated culture to promote. Okay, so it doesn't require some specific time or so. If there is a job or position to be filled in, and they are tolerated culture, they belong to the group which is in tolerated culture, then they will be promoted automatically, I guess. It doesn't take time or require anything else. I'm wondering. Okay, next. Not all locations have buildings at the beginning of the game, but every location specializes in producing one specific good in the resource gathering operations, or RGO. That is a special type of building that employs laborers to produce raw goods. Laborers, what is it? This is a lower class. This represents the people who work manual labor in our urban locations and rural locations. They work the land to create, harvest, and gather the raw goods that are the backbone of the country, or work as unskilled labor in mills. Okay. Fair enough. How to check the numbers? Oh, we can see on the map. That's how it looks like. Fair enough. Very much like buildings, resource gathering operations sell their goods in the market of the location to generate tax base. At the beginning of the game, most of your tax base will come from the production of your RGO. You can learn about markets here. Markets hint. No, not for now. Next. Location tax base. As we have seen, the added profits of buildings and RGO constitute the tax base of a location. The tax base is then collected by the estates according to their presence in the location. So, buildings and RGO, we can say that they are responsible for the tax base of a location. And then the tax base is collected by the estates according to their presence in the location. I'm wondering how much, like what percentage of the tax base is collected. Remember that you only end up receiving a fraction of those ducats in the form of taxes. For instance, the total tax base in Bursa adds up to 26 ducats, of which you tax 6.32 from your estates. Hover over the tax base to see how it is being distributed among the estates. Okay. Potential tax base 26. No loss because we have 100 control. This is our capital, of course. And then we have Guzat, which is nobility. Tax base share, it's 10.27 ducats. And we tax them only 11%. So we get 1.14 ducats from them. Then we have Ulama, which is clergy. The base is 2.39, which is 9%. And we get from them 0.16, which is 6.98% of total amount. Okay, burghers 2.85, commoners 2.53, zimi 7.94, and tribe 0. That's all the tax base share. And then we actually get a lot from zimi. 39.22%. In percentages, commoners, burghers, and zimi, these are the highest taxes, which is obvious. Okay, so next. Let us recap. Buildings and RGO in your locations employ POPs to create tax base. The tax base is divided among your estates, who in turn provide you with taxes and levies. That's pretty simple. Buildings and RGOs, which means in, well, very simple terms, production of certain goods, which means money or money production. Actually, I cannot say that money production because you can mint money, so that's the real money production. But let's simplify that. Yeah, that means money. Buildings and RGOs means money. And then we have estates, and from those, from that money, some fraction of it is gathered in the way of taxes. Okay, that's it. I think I've made it more complicated than it is, so I'm very sorry. Let's just go. However, not all locations are equal under the sun. Let us discuss one of the most important stats of a location, control. Among other things, control determines the amount of wealth in a location that is actually usable by you or your estates. In other words, the tax base of a location is scaled by the percentage of control you have over it. We have 100 control over Bursa, and this is probably because that's our capital, so potential tax base and effective tax base is exactly the same. Next. The control of a location is directly dependent on its proximity to your capital. That is why your capital is one of your most important locations. It will always have high control. That means that buildings and RGO in your capital will always contribute the most to the wealth of your estates and your country. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. You can learn more about proximity and control here. No, for now we'll just move forward. Well, actually, proximity, what does it mean? Proximity is how close a location is to the capital of its owner. Tracing a path through roads or maritime presence from coastal locations increases the proximity. Tracing a path through roads or maritime presence. Oh, so we can actually build roads in that game as well, which is cool. Proximity has a direct impact on the control a country can exert over a location. Actually, regarding proximity, Russia is a great example. That's the problem. Poorly communicated country. There is no... of course, Russia doesn't exist here. There's Muscovy. You can form Russia. It doesn't matter. So the problem with Russia was that that's a massive, massive country. Huge. Gigantic, massive lands. And it was always poorly communicated. So the road networks or the train networks were quite poor comparing with, for example, Germany. They were terribly poor comparing with Germany. So that was hard to keep people unified under a single banner of Russia. That's why the policy of Russia was always to conquer and basically to fight. The military was some type of glue for the people of Russia. So yeah, that's why they were so aggressive. Of course, it depends also on their culture. They come from just a different part of the world. They are more connected with, unfortunately, Genghis Khan and Mongols than actually Western Europe or Central Europe, or even saying Eastern Europe, which is that part. Yeah, well, that's just a Just curious. So, let's continue. I think I wanted to say something else, but whatever. Let us take a moment now to see map modes. They are different lenses through which you can see various aspects of the world represented on the map. If you hover over the control tooltip in the location panel, you will see the map mode button at the top right of the tooltip. When you click it, the map mode will change to show the control in all your locations. Okay, let me go here. Oh, it's over there. Control. This colors the locations depending on the control that its owner can exert over it. Oh, fair enough. That looks decent. That's very readable. Look at that. We only have 10 control. We are such a small country and we still have only 10 control over our lands. That's terrible. Next. Oh my god, sorry. You are seeing now on the map the distribution of control across your land. Notice how control tends to decrease the further locations are from the capital. Due to control, locations in the periphery of your domains will not be nearly as useful, at least without the proper infrastructure in place. Exactly, infrastructure. That's something Russia missed and still misses, I guess. While on this map mode, you can also click on other countries to see their control displayed on the map. So we have all of that information, by the way. Okay, so there's Byzantine Empire. Look at that, they don't have any control over this land. That's crazy. What do we have here? Effective control of Anavianos. Okay, I don't know. What's there? More oh, look at that flag. This is beautiful. Kingdom of Cyprus. Beautiful. Okay, that's Cedros Cape, whatever. Oh, my lord, look at that. These are Mamluks. Mamluk Sultanate of Egypt. And they look quite decent here in Egypt, but look at that. That's absolutely terrible. No control whatsoever. Look at that. That's terrifying. Let's take a look at England. Oh my lord, it also doesn't look great. No control over that portion of the England. That's terrible. What about France? Oh my god. That also looks bad. Bohemia? Bohemia looks strong. Poland? Poland also looks not great. Definitely not great. Teutonic Order? Well, shit as hell. I assume that Duchy of Lithuania, great. Sorry, Grand Duchy of Lithuania. Surprisingly quite well. No. Oh, we have big numbers and smaller numbers, okay. That's how it looks like. Sweden? Yeah, not too bad. Okay, let's forget about that for now. Let me come back over here. We have mighty Ottomans. Let's click next. Now let us have a look at the proximity map mode. You can access it from the proximity tooltip, similar to what you did for control. So that's control, and here we have proximity. Just out of curiosity, proximity is how close location is to the... Okay. Boom. And then we have information about that proximity. What bread means. The proximity of Karahisar, the nearest source, is 11.88% due to, and then we have reasons. But we can increase that by just, well, building roads, right? Okay. Next. The proximity map mode shows how far away locations are from your capital in practical terms. You may notice how proximity spreads further along the plains and the rivers, and it is severely hampered by mountain ranges or forests. Indeed, topography and vegetation play a very important role in the calculation of proximity, and so does the presence of human-made infrastructure like roads or ports. Clicking on different locations while on this map mode will show the path they are using to reach the capital. Oh! Okay, they cannot reach capital. Oh no, they can. But this cannot. This is because what? We don't have roads? I don't know. That's pretty straightforward. Okay, here we use port, I guess. Yeah. What about that? What about here? Okay, that makes sense. Next. There are dozens of different map modes in this game that can be used to display all sort of data. For instance, you might be interested in various markets around the world or the distribution of population within your country. Oh my god, where I can place that cursor. Okay. You can access all the map modes by hovering over the widget at the bottom of your screen and selecting a specific map mode. Feel free to explore, but do not feel like you need to get acquainted with all of them right away. That's very correct, guys. Reading absolutely everything, every detail of every possible mechanic and element of that game is not the way to go. You will learn, well, something, some theory, but you won't be able to apply it either way. So it's better to just take those small pieces, try playing as much as possible and putting those pieces together, and then adding one more thing to the toolbox, learn it, apply it, and then select another one, and so on and so forth. Probably that's the best way to learn the game. Of course, I read everything for now, but after that walkthrough, I guess we'll try to play. Remember to go back to the default map mode by pressing Ctrl Q or selecting it from the map mode panel. Open the map modes panel, highlight it, okay. Yeah, that's how it looks like. I would prefer to keep it opened all the time. Open the government map modes. Oh my... Oh shit, man. Oh shit. Okay, I will open development. Oh my lord, there's so many of those map modes. Look how beautifully developed is northern Italy. And how bad it looks here. Oh my god. Ah, that's terrifying. Okay. Return to the default terrain map mode. Control Q. Will I remember all of those? Oh. Okay. This is beautiful, by the way. Alright. Next. So you have said that you need proximity to have control, but how do you improve your proximity? Oh, that's a right question. There are multiple different ways, but one of the most important ones is building roads. Roads improve the connection between two locations, reducing the proximity cost for all locations that use that path to reach the capital. So that's a compound effect as well. Let us build a road from Bursa. Notice it will cost you ducats. Open the Bursa panel, boom. Click on the Road Builder button to build a road from your capital. Road Builder, hello. Oh my god. This is beautiful. Click on any neighboring location on the map to start construction. Where I should do that? Here we have it. Constructing a gravel road will have the following effects. Okay, what else? I would like to get a road here. It's a bit confusing because I thought it will show any existing roads right now. Gravel road, paved road, modern road, travel time, cost. This will minimize the travel time of the new road path for our mighty armies. Proximity. This will minimize the proximity cost of the destination. What? What's the difference between them? I don't get it. Time. This will minimize the time taken for the new road path to be built. Time is money. I don't get it. Sort by the location. Sort by the location topography. Sort by the cost of building a road to this location. Sort by the location. What's that? What if I select that one? What's the difference? Honestly, I don't get it. Huh. Okay. I would like to build a road to Izmit. Yeah. Okay. What was the cost? Current construction in Bursa. Current construction in Iznik. Or Izmit. Oh no, sorry, that's Iznik. What was the cost? Can I find out now? I have no clue. Oh my god, this is pretty expensive. Oh, that... Okay, we can just Look at that. It says the cost. It shows which provinces will be affected, right? Sort by the location, distance to target. Okay. Fair enough. Makes sense. Kinda. I still don't feel comfortable with that tab. Okay. Next. Bravo. The road is now under construction. It will take some months to finish. You can see the construction progress in the circular widget on the map over your capital. I see that circular widget. Okay. Once it finishes, proximity in the target location will improve accordingly, and you will see its control rise. The construction of buildings, RGO, and regiments works very similarly. They cost the ducats, require some goods from the market, and take some time to complete. I don't know. Did roads cost me anything else than ducats? Can't recall it. All roads lead to Bursa, to Rome, you want to say. Proximity and control are among the most important mechanics to master in Europa Universalis 5. So you have roads, harbors, proximity, higher proximity, more control, more crown power, more tax base, and more levies. Makes sense. Crown power, tax base, and the size of your levies will directly depend on the control you have over your locations, which in turn depends on their proximity from your capital. This means that laying out roads from the capital is paramount to all countries, big and small. Aside from roads, proximity can also propagate by sea, although doing so efficiently requires good harbor capacity and maritime presence. What does it mean, harbor capacity? Harbor capacity reduces the cost of going from sea to land and vice versa in the proximity and trade calculations. Okay. The harbor capacity of a location depends mainly on its natural harbor suitability, but many port-related buildings can also increase it greatly. Fair enough, it doesn't say much still, but I get it. Maritime presence, the maritime presence we have along our coast is vital both for trade and for our control over our territory. Maritime presence builds up over time. If you are at peace, just from having ports while a blockade will quickly reduce our presence. A navy in a sea zone can quickly build up the presence again. So they just need to station somewhere? That's it? High maritime presence reduces the proximity that is lost between sea zones when calculating control. Maritime presence is the coastal sea zones of a market. Wait a second. Maritime presence in the coastal sea zones of a market is also an important source of trade advantage. I'm not gonna read about trade advantage because, well, it doesn't say much to me now. Outliner. Before we finish, let us go over a couple of extra UI elements that you need to know, starting with the outliner. How much time I have? 27 minutes. Maybe we'll finish it with that episode. The outliner offers an overview of what is going on in your country. For instance, you can see the road you just built under the construction group. Where it is? Government, your construction. Okay, yeah, that's readable. If I compare it with Victoria 3, it's beautifully readable. I'm biased towards Victoria 3, I'm sorry. The contents of the outliner are highly customizable. Much like control groups, you can pin a large variety of things to the outliner, such as countries, markets, or armies. To do this, you can utilize the context menu, which can be accessed by right-clicking the location or country on the map. To do this, you can utilize the context menu, which can be accessed by right-clicking the location or a country on the map. Okay. Go to location. Current buildings, army buildings. Add location to internal. Okay, build roads, level 2. Silicon Bursa. Open the context menu, I'm sorry. Pin a country or location to the outliner. Pin action. Beylik of Ottomans. Okay. What have I done? Countries. Alright. Right click somewhere on the map, then look for the star icon. Okay. Nicely done. You will be able to access everything you have pinned on the right side of the screen. Fair enough. We are almost at the end of this introduction. To help you focus on the part of the game you are most interested in, we have automated some features according to the playstyle you picked. You can control what aspects of the game are automated at any time from the automation panel. Open the automation panel highlighted. Hello. What do we have here? From inside this panel, you can control which aspects of your country the game will manage for you. For now, we recommend you stick to what has been said and go back to this panel when you feel comfortable with the basic features. I don't know. Optionally, you could decide whether you want to automate your advances and your cabinet or leave them manual. You can learn more about those features in the respective hints if you decide to manually interact with them. Surprisingly, it's only production methods automated. This game will decide what goods any building should produce for you. What else is automated? That's the only thing automated, come on. For real. Let the game produce new buildings for you to cover all your needs. Well, there is a lot of automation in that game. You know what? I'm the type of the guy which usually doesn't like automation at all. And I'm gonna give you a very stupid example, which is transmission gearbox. I have automatic gearbox in my car, but believe me, I never use that in automatic mode. I always use manual mode because I want to have maximum control over my car. Of course, this is a sport car, so that feels a little bit, I mean, that works a little bit different because, well, sports car behave differently, especially if you turn on the sport mode, which usually I do. And I also have those, how they are called? I'm sorry, paddles next to your steering wheel. So that's how I switch gears up and down. And that's why I also drive only in manual gearbox mode. And probably with the game that's gonna work the same. I may consider actually automating trade, because that's something which I feel might be a little bit too complex for me at the very beginning. Production methods, they can also be automated. My only question is when there is a good time to turn them off. Because I feel like at some point I will simply forget that something is automated and I will play that game and I will feel, well, let's say confident. And then someone will tell me, hey buddy, maybe you could turn that off and show how good you really are. And I'm like, oh shit, man, I'm not at all. Of course, I will never be good in that game, but for the sake of the example, I'm saying that. So maybe I will just turn off everything and try playing like that. I can remember the times when games were brutal for the player. There was no minimap usually. I can imagine the game called Gothic. If you know, let me know. Great game, by the way, RPG. The point was that whenever you got a task, if you forgot the I mean, oh my god, the how to say that, the conversation between you and the NPC giving you the task, that was super hard to find out what you were supposed to do. That was absolutely even sometimes annoying, because you talked with a guy and, for example, you had to stop playing for some reasons, and then you came back to the game and you were like, okay, I would like to hear that again, but you cannot because that conversation is over. You cannot replay it. So what that guy said, then you just try to open some kind of backlog, if it even existed. And in the backlog was just a very basic information, like you have to do that. But it didn't say where, with whom, and so on and how. That was crazy. That was really brutal. Now games offer so much, like, I don't know, simplification. But in that case, I actually understand that. It's a grand strategy game. It's absolute beast in every piece. So it's highly detailed and it might be a little bit overwhelming to learn everything at once. So That's understandable, but still I may consider disabling that. Alright, you can learn more about those features in the respective hints if you decide to manually interact with them. Next. Alerts. Another important element you will be using during your campaigns is the alerts. They will appear underneath the top bar and inform you of a variety of matters that will eventually need your attention, sorted by their level of urgency, from most urgent red to less urgent green. That's pretty simple. What about the blue ones? Okay, I guess those are some kind of hints. Know that you will not get alerts related to parts of the game you have automated. Oh, fair enough, that's cool. Most alerts have a related hint that helps you address it. You can shift click on an alert to open the corresponding hint. Shift click? Seriously? Let me click. That one. Oh, for real? That opens the hint. Oh my god, this is huge. That's gonna make the game so much more interesting and, let's say, easier. Next. Agenda. Lastly, we recommend you have a look at the agenda at the beginning of every game, where you will find a little bit of historical context for your country and a collection of those hints most relevant to your current situation. Open the agenda. Okay. Next. Oh my god, really? On to missions. We are now at the end of the basic walkthrough. We advise you to proceed by embarking on a mission path of your choosing. Mission path? Okay, cool. Depending on your selected playstyle, missions will offer you different goals and rewards to guide through your initial steps in Europa Universalis 5. Unfortunately, there are no missions in the game. They are only for the sake of the tutorial. But if you skip tutorial, there are no missions whatsoever. That might be sad. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people really complain that there are no missions in the game, like in Europa Universalis 4. Actually, probably I would like to have them because they give me some guidance, some goal I want to reach, some path to follow. Without them, you have to create that path for yourself, which is a little bit harder. But we'll see. Maybe there is so much flavor in that game that actually missions are not needed, or maybe they will just add them in upcoming DLCs. Who knows? When selecting a mission focus, you will When selecting a mission focus, you will first receive a brief explanation that will expand your knowledge on that part of the game experience. Good luck, and may your nation prosper through the tide of the time. Of time. There is no D. Open the government panel. Boom. Open the missions tab. Missions. Pick a mission focus. Expansion, politics, and economy. Can I save the game now? I cannot. So we have to select one. I'm sorry. I plan to do that in the next episode. Okay, I'm gonna select expansion. Start expansion walkthrough. Confirm. Yes, please. Next up, we'll take a look at the expansion walkthrough to start off. Let us take a look at the military panel. Open the military panel. Don't tell me I cannot still save it, right? Oh my god. Okay, you know what? I have to leave. That episode is 38 minutes. I don't want to continue it because that's gonna be a mess. So, yeah, that's it. That's where we will finish, and we will continue from that point on in the next episode. So, I hope you like it, and hopefully see you in the next one. That beautiful story, beautiful game is, well, opening, I don't know, opening up before us. I don't know. I just don't know what I want to say. Either way, I want to experience that game, and I hope you will be with me, because yeah, that game deserved that. That game deserved that. It's huge. Okay, so once again, thank you very much, and see you next time. Goodbye.